Hey, it's Pat from PJM Scheduling Services. We're going to talk about updating your project schedule in P6 today. So in a previous video, we created this baseline schedule. Um, so now maybe it's been a month or so since you've turned in your baseline and you have to do your first progress update for your project. So there's a few ways of doing it. Few ways to skin the cat, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of this baseline. So just right click, copy, and then in my updates, I created this EPS. I'll paste my project there. I'm going to retain all of the information from that baseline schedule. So just keep all the boxes checked because we want all of that information retained. I'll call this UP1 for update number 1. And then I'm going to show you two ways that you can you could schedule apply progress to this schedule. So one way is, so I have my project open now. One way is you can move this data date line. So if you were to hover over the data date, you notice your cursor changes. So you can grab that data date line and drag it to the right as far as you want. I'll go to July 1st. So you'll notice it highlights every activity that was scheduled to occur within that time frame. And you can go up here to this icon here that says update progress. So I wouldn't recommend updating a schedule this way, but if you're wondering, like, hey, we achieved perfect progress in the period, and I would want to save myself the headache of applying progress to each individual activity. This is how you would do that, but schedules oftentimes don't go according to plan, and so it's the probability of you hitting all your dates is pretty slim, but maybe you're the exception. So in that case, yeah, you hit that update progress button. We'll use our new data date of July 1st. When using progress spotlight, update the progress so we want all the highlighted activities here. And then when actuals are applied, calculate activity remaining duration. So recalculate the remaining durations. And that's going to be based on the items that are in progress. So we'll press apply. And so now what you'll notice is these have been changed to blue. An A has been added to the start and finish date of the items that have completed. And these activities have been started. And you'll notice that their remaining duration has been dropped to 5 days, which is 50% of the 10-day original duration. So that's like one way of updating the project. I'll call it maybe update number 1A under here. So I'll make another copy of the baseline, UP1A, update number 1. So the other way that you would do it is pulling our data date back so we have no progress has been achieved. So say we so let's add a few columns here. I like to do actual start. Let's kind of rearrange these columns. So we have start finish. Let's get rid of these guys, and we'll add in actual start, actual finish, and I'm going to move this percent complete. Instead of schedule percent complete, let's just do activity percent complete, and let's move that down here. So now we have these columns. Okay, so let's say we had our notice to proceed date. Say instead of June 17th, we actually received it on the 21st. Okay, and what I did was I just go to the status tab. Under status here, all we're doing is checking the box for did it start and did it finish. And since this is a milestone, when we check one of the boxes, it'll auto-populate. It'll do both boxes since it's a milestone and it only has either a start or a finish date. So say that was June 17th, and then prepare and submit earthwork. Say that started on the 20. We started preparing that on the 22nd, and we only 20% progress. So we have 4 days remaining on that. And the roofing, say that started and finished, and now we can choose our dates for when those finish. So say it was the 22nd, and say that finished on the 29th. And for our structural steel, say we didn't make any progress on the structural steel. So let's call that our update. That's all the progress that this. We're going to reschedule this item for July 1st. Okay, so it went from June 17th to July 1st. I'm going to reschedule, and you'll notice that all of these activities ended up shifting to the right. And one of the things that I like to do is if I go to project, maintain baselines, add a baseline, convert another project to a new baseline. So basically what I'm wanting to do is I want to grab our original schedule, or in some cases the previous month's schedule, assign it as a baseline. First, P6 has like a two-step process. First, you have to pull in the schedule into this schedule. So you're kind of like combining the schedules within each other. And then you have 4 slots to assign it as a baseline. You have a project baseline, and then you have user baselines, which I won't get into it now, but I like to assign it to the primary baseline slot. And you have 2 other slots if you wanted to compare other schedules as well. So let's go ahead and do that. You'll notice nothing changed, but what we can do now is add some bars. We can use this primary baseline bar. We can display that bar. And now you'll notice if I apply that, let's scroll down and let's do the milestone as well. So we'll do the primary baseline milestone as well. So you'll notice now that we can compare back to our original baseline of what we had originally scheduled versus the actual work now that's being performed and how that's pushed to the right. And we might say, well, what was the old date there? What did the date used to be? Well, let's add a column under dates. And I like to we'll put it right here after this finish date. We'll say BL1, which is that primary baseline slot. We'll say BL1 finish. So that's going to tell us what the finish date was originally. So originally in our baseline schedule, it was September 1st. And now it's September 14th. So yeah, that's a really quick way of performing a schedule update. All we're doing is we're taking a copy of the previous month or previous update, making a copy of that, and then we apply our progress just like we did. It's that simple, adding our actual dates to it, and then moving the data date. That's really key. You have to change the data date to the new period, and everything left of the data date is progress, and everything to the right of the data date is future planned work. So that's really key. I've seen a lot of contractors where they use Microsoft Project and they just apply the dates. They'll just say, okay, structural steel done, this done, but you'll notice that actually they haven't rescheduled the work or moved the data date at all, which is key. You have to reschedule the work after you've applied all of your progress. So say now our new data date is August 1st, we schedule. Now all of our future work has been pushed out past the new data date. And now everything left of it is just pure progress that's been applied. So yeah, that's how you do a schedule update. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions. Thanks.